Hello everyone, my name is EQ and welcome back to another cycle video. With less than 24 hours before the beta starts, I wanted to quickly go over the information that the devs have provided us as to what we should expect from the beta this time around. Thanks to the beta announcement article, we can actually get a little bit of insight from the devs as to what we're going to be tackling during this beta, what new activities we may encounter, as well as a little bit of a teaser that we actually got that I'm very excited for. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. To start everything off, if you haven't already participated in some of the cycle's previous betas or closed playtests, make sure that you go to the links that I will be posting below in the description, where you can request access either through Steam or through the Epic Games Store. I will also post a link to Alienware's Arena website, where the devs have partnered up with Alienware to give away even more keys. Currently, there's around 5,100 left, as you can see here, so make sure that you jump on it, sign up for an account, and get the key immediately. The article starts off talking about the new faction campaigns. Now, what are the faction campaigns? They are story-driven missions that are provided to you by each of the three factions, whether it's ICA, Korolev, or Osiris. And these faction campaigns will actually unlock starter weapons for each of those factions, as well as lead up to the eventual missions that you are accustomed to that you were able to take part of during the last closed beta. Now, what these missions will entail, well, we still don't know too much about them, but if we are to take anything from the previous single player missions that they had in the previous version of the cycle, they will have you doing a myriad of different objectives, whether it be collecting specific materials to bring back to the station, killing certain animals, finding or scanning certain areas. It's going to be a whole mix of things, although they will not be strictly solo missions, in the sense that there will still be players around in the map that could stop you from finishing them. So just please make sure that you're highly aware of everything in your surroundings. Next up is a returning activity from the previous version of the cycle, this being the Korolev drill. Now, this has been completely redesigned for the new version of the game, where you now have to find a beacon that you will plant in one of the three marked landing zones for the drill. Now, this drill is massive, and on top of that, it is very loud and slow. It'll be very, very slow to land, so please keep in mind that once you start this activity, everybody in the map will know that the drill is coming down, and they will know where the drill will be landing. You will be on high alert at all times if you're trying to finish this activity. Now, if you're a veteran of the cycle and you played back in the previous version of the game and you saw the drill, you know that you not only had to defend the drill from enemy players, but also from large waves of monsters that would continue to attack you. From what little footage we have seen of the laser drill, we have not seen any enemy AIs come out of the woodworks to attack you in the drill. But keep in mind that this doesn't make this activity any less dangerous. You'll be able to collect the new material excavated by the drill called Ledium, which you can use as a crafting material, or you can sell it for some extra cash. And what's cool is that once the drill is done doing its thing, it will actually launch back into space, and you can ride the drill to evacuate out of the map. Keep in mind that other players can actually be very sneaky and steal the materials that you've drilled out, so you must be attentive and you must be collecting all of the materials as they come out. Now, there are still a lot of questions to be answered about this new activity, whether other players can actually destroy the drill like you used to in previous versions of the cycle. You could do this by shooting the core of the drill enough to damage it and make it explode. We don't know just yet if this is possible in this new version of the game, but it would be a lot of fun to see a lot of people die because of this core explosion. And again, because of the little amount of information and footage that we have of the drill in action, we don't know just yet if the drill landing in a different area of the map will attract enemy AI, which would be an absolute nightmare to have to defend from those monsters as well as other players. Lastly, another returning feature from the previous version of the game, we have monster variations. Based on the lore of the planet Fortuna 3, because the storm gets increasingly stronger, the monsters also have to mutate in order to be able to withstand the harsh environment that they live in. This means that these versions of the monsters are going to be a lot stronger, may have alternate abilities and other things that we just don't know about yet. But trust me when I say that you better run when you see these new versions of the monsters, or just stick around and find out what they actually do. Be the guinea pig. We also got a little bit of information about map refinement. The team has reworked and revised both maps, adding a ton of new paths and tweaking existing ones. They've also smoothed out a lot of specific spots, so that way it's easier for you to climb and make sure that you don't get stuck in certain areas. I'm personally very excited for these changes, because if there's anything that's blown me away about this new version of the game is the visuals. The visual team has been fantastic at making sure that this game looks more beautiful than ever. Lastly, we get this tidbit of information right here. This has me so excited. They teased dungeon crawling. In other words, there's going to be dungeons that you're going to be able to explore for high tier loot. Obviously, it's going to be extremely dangerous, but trust me, this is going to be so much fun and probably one of the things that I'm looking forward the most to actually checking out in the game. So a couple of tips for those of you who are brand new to the game: make sure that you stick to and focus on one specific campaign at a time. Do not flip-flop around between different campaigns, and make sure that you finish one completely so that way you can move on to the other one afterwards. Because once you finish the campaign, that opens up to all the missions that we're used to playing from the previous versions of the beta. Those missions will actually increase your faction reputation and be able to purchase different things from these factions, such as weapons, medkits, etc. My recommendation is that you start off with Osiris. Osiris has access to the strong stim and medkits, so that way you're going to be able to have heals at all time. And I'm pretty sure that while you're working on the next campaign, you'll be able to pick up Osiris missions to complete along the way, so you're not going to be completely ignoring one faction while you're trying to complete the others. After Osiris, I would recommend that you go for Korolev, as they have some amazing weapons such as the Hammer Revolver, the Scrapper SMG, which is amazing, and you can eventually work up to the KVR Longshot. After you finish all the campaigns, I recommend that you start working on your own personal quarters, so that way you can start increasing the amount of inventory space that you have, and you have a steady flow of income and starter items that you can work with. Now don't worry, I will be creating a lot of guide videos, as well as providing you guys with more story driven and episodic content. So if you guys are interested in any of that and you want to stay on top of any cycle related news, then make sure that you subscribe, hit that bell notification. I stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 8 p.m. Eastern onwards. I will be playing nothing but the cycle for the rest of this month, as long as the beta is going. So I will make sure that I get as much information out to you guys as possible. And again, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you all, and I will catch you all on Planet Fortuna.